Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Nights into Dreams. In part 2, we went through Mystic Forest, and I didn't do so great. But in this part, we're going through a stage I know a little better, Soft Museum, which is pretty much exactly what it says on the tin. It might be confusing, but that's because this is the confusion. Alright, so starting out we actually want to head away from Nights. Oh man, they took the idea. Can't believe it. Anyway. That's because there are a bunch of chips back here, and there are no chips before the capture on the actual mare itself. So, collecting all 20 before will help us get a bonus of close to 9,000. Gotta sort of bounce on this hill a bit to get the chips that are stuck in it. Kind of a clever way to hide them. And that's 20. It's 21, but 20 is enough. Let's just head straight for the capture and blow it up. 8,800. Well, this mare is pretty fun when you get into it. Actually, it's really possible to get a really big link. Just keep it going as long as you don't run out of time. Like that. You can get well over 100 if you're quick and consistent about it, like I'm not right there. But that's actually a lot of fun to do. The reason why I like this stage so much. This opening part. It's also one of my favorite background musics in the game. Not entirely sure why, but it's the one that gets stuck in my head the most. I think I alluded to this earlier, but the mood of the NiGHTS in the level actually affects the mood of the music. There are a few different ways the music track can go depending on how happy the NiGHTS are. Of course, you can make them happy by hatching some NiGHTS eggs, and if you want to piss them off, you kill them. It's also possible for the nightmare and enemies in the stage to kill the NiGHTS or scare them. That dampens the mood. I think we're just not going to attempt another one. I'm just gonna cut it here. On to Mare 2. This time we actually get to go inside the museum. There's a trick here that will let you build up a huge score. In fact, you kind of have to do it if you want to compete with the highest scores. Not that I do that. See, if you bounce on the ground like this and do flips in the air, which is really hard to do on the keyboard, I'm just noticing, you start collecting points for each one, and each time you do a flip, the point value increases by 10, as long as you can keep bouncing. But this isn't so interesting, so we'll cut this out in a second. But I want to show you what happens if you screw up and land flat. You turn fat! Ah! I don't know why, but I find that really funny. Anyway, the capture's in this room. Boom. By the way, the flips, I believe, are not affected by bonus time. So if that's what you're going to do to get your high score, there's not much point in destroying the capture early. There's a power-up in here. That power-up restores your stamina to full. It's pretty helpful because you have to do a lot of dashing in this stage. I might pick that up too early, I don't know. Try not to get started on this bouncing thing again. It's actually kind of fun once you get into a rhythm, but it's not that interesting to watch, so But again, that's the way to get high scores in this stage, is to do those flips over and over and over again. And we gotta get to the exit, or to the palace. On to Mare 3. This one is just strange. I mean, even as far as this level goes, it's just wacky. I'm gonna go in a cannon and just get shot out and uncontrollably zoom forward, even though apparently we can fly wherever we want. It's also pretty easy to get your 20 chips. You're kind of forced through here. This link ball. I almost never get this link ball. Bam! 8600, that's not so bad. Oops. Item, the little NiGHTS helper follows you around and he'll pick up items that you go near. Sort of gives you that item magnet effect that the kids have when you play as them, walk around. Which can be very helpful or very annoying in the air, because sometimes the little delay that happens when you attract the items can actually break your link. Saw a Mepian egg on the ground here. I'm gonna try and hatch that. Look at that cute guy. What a creep. Now, what the Mepians are is, this is going to be very strange even by the standards of this game, but you might have noticed that when you kill an enemy by dashing into it, he turns into a ball and bounces around. And basically, if that ball runs into a NiGHTS, the NiGHTS will lay an egg. And that egg will hatch a hybrid between the NiGHTS and the nightmare that you killed to cause that reproduction. I have no clue what exactly the designers of this game were smoking when they thought of this. But it's pretty weird. Anyway, there's another lap inside the museum. Kind of clever how your reflection can pick up the items that are on the other side of the mirror. Some secret chips here. And there's another place where you can do flips. Boing. And it's kind of sad is that those Mepians that I was talking about earlier, the other NiGHTS really don't like them very much. And if they run into each other, the NiGHTS will get really scared and run away, and that also decreases the mood of the NiGHTS on the stage, and it's like, geez guys. Even in the dream world we can't get away from frickin' racism. These enemies here, this is like, I haven't got hit yet, but this is the part where it's really easy to get hit by the enemies. There's like 3 of them there. They're the kind that you can't just dash into without really thinking about it, because they electrify themselves and such. That guy. I don't think we can do another run through the museum, so we'll just head back. I accidentally picked up the star bonus earlier, but that's not so bad. Let's just leave. Head on out to the boss. And the boss this time is Jackal, and he's probably one of the swingiest bosses in that. If you can get a lucky bounce off of him, you can take him out really quickly. Otherwise, he'll run out your stamina. And then you're in trouble, because it's really hard to beat him if you can't dash. Basically, all he has is cape. As you saw, he throws playing cards from you, which are absolutely deadly, and you have to go around, up and down to dodge them. But without his cape, you can't do that. And if you can knock him out of his cape... Ah! That was bad. So when you knock him out of his cape, he tries to get back to his cape. You just gotta keep hitting him until he dies. And it is possible to beat him in 20 seconds for the 2.0. You just have to sort of bounce him off the ceiling so he doesn't go very far, but it is very tricky to do. Alright, that was Soft Museum. That was quite the experience. And again, really it's unfortunate because the inside the museum parts are really interesting if you do them normally, but the best way to get points is just to bounce and do a bunch of flips on mirrors 2 and 4. Well, that's that, and that's that for part 3 of the Let's Play. So, I mean, next up on the list for Claris is Twin Seeds, but that's the final level. And because it's the same for each of them, we're just going to try Elliot's Dreams next, starting with Splash Garden. So, tune in next time for part 4, where we're going to go on a vacation to a very sunny water park-ish place. Until then, good night.